universe. It seemed inevitable that the next danger the Foundation would have to face was the final lash of the dying empire. The way must be cleared for the battle of Foundation and Empire. Part 1. The General. Bel Riose. In his relatively short career, Riose earned the title of the last of the Imperials, and earned it well. A study of his campaigns reveals him to be the equal of Purefoy in strategic ability, and his superior, perhaps, in his ability to handle men. That he was born in the days of the decline of empire made it all but impossible for him to equal Purefoy's record as a conqueror. Yet he had his chance when, the first of the Empire's generals to do so, he faced the Foundation squarely. Encyclopedia Galactica. Footnote. All quotations from the Encyclopedia Galactica here reproduced are taken from the 116th edition published in 1020 Foundation era by the Encyclopedia Galactica Publishing Company, Terminus, with permission of the publishers. Chapter 1. Search for Magicians. Bel Riose traveled without escort, which is not what court etiquette prescribes for the head of a fleet stationed in a yet sullen stellar system on the marches of the galactic empire. But Bel Riose was young and energetic enough to be sent as near the end of the universe as possible by an unemotional and calculating court, and curious besides. Strange and improbable tales fancifully repeated by hundreds and murkily known to thousands intrigued the last faculty. The possibility of a military venture engaged the other two. The combination was overpowering. He was out of the dowdy ground car he had appropriated and at the door of the fading mansion that was his destination. He waited. The photonic eye that spanned the doorway was alive, but when the door opened, it was by hand. Bel Riose smiled at the old man. "I am Riose." "I recognize you." The old man remained stiffly and unsurprised in his place. "Your business." Riose withdrew a step in a gesture of submission. "One of peace. If you are Duke Bar, I ask the favor of conversation." Duke Bar stepped aside, and in the interior of the house the walls glowed into life. The general entered into daylight. He touched the wall of the study, then stared at his fingertips. "You have this on Siwenna?" Bar smiled thinly. "Not elsewhere, I believe. I keep this in repair myself as well as I can. I must apologize for your wait at the door. The automatic device registers the presence of a visitor, but will no longer open the door." "Your repairs fall short." The general's voice was faintly mocking. "Parts are no longer available. If you will sit, sir." "You drink tea?" "On Siwenna? My good sir, it is socially impossible not to drink it here." The old patrician retreated noiselessly with a slow bow that was part of the ceremonious legacy left by the aristocracy of the last century's better days. Riose looked after his host's departing figure, and his studied urbanity grew a bit uncertain at the edges. His education had been purely military, his experience likewise. He had, as the cliché has it, faced death many times, but always death of a very familiar and tangible nature. Consequently, there is no inconsistency in the fact that the idolized lion of the 20th Fleet felt chilled in the suddenly musty atmosphere of an ancient room. The general recognized the small, black ivory boxes that lined the shelves to be books. Their titles were unfamiliar. He guessed that the large structure at one end of the room was the receiver that transmuted the books into sight and sound on demand. He had never seen one in operation, but he had heard of them. Once he had been told that long before, during the golden ages when the Empire had been coextensive with the entire galaxy, 9 houses out of every 10 had such receivers.